Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Jonathan Flordelis. Today, we are going to be talking about the diabetic foot. I hope that through this, you can be educated and you will understand why we do what we do. So, dili ni tinuod ang giingon nila na putol lang ng putol kayo mga orthopedic. This is a line from a famous person in our government who went to our convention, spoke to our convention and said, unsa man mga orthopedic, sige man sila pangputol og tiil, oy, putol og kamot. Putol lang ng putol kayo mga orthopedic. That is not true. Naimangutana, nganong moabot man na madunot ang tiil? Nganong mamatay man ang tiil? Kaning picture akong gipakita ninyo, this picture is showing the arteries, kanang maugat na mohatag og dugo sa atong mga tiil. And if naay blockage diha, if naay mabara, muhunong ang sirkulasyon sa tiil, human maghinay-hinay na o kadunot or hinay-hinay kamatay. So blockage in circulation, that's what we call a vascular disease. This happens in diabetics, especially magsugod na sa tips of the fingers, tips of the toes. And what we find is a glove and stocking. Murag nagguantis ka, naggloves ka, or nagmedyas ka ba na di ka feel kaayo. So feeling or sensation is usually the first thing that we notice, and it's usually both hands and both feet. And those are signs of microvascular compromise in patients with problems in the extremities. And this is a picture showing a foot with healthy blood flow compared with a foot with a reduced blood flow, and that will cause damage to the nerve. So all the nerves which give sensation to the foot, they are damaged because of the reduced blood flow. Kay muhinay man, kay na may bara sa ugat, mo na di nakakamatikod na naay natusok ang imong tiil or wa ka kibaw sometimes na wala na imong chinilas sometimes inana. Of course, there are instances na the damaged nerves may not be because of damaged blood flow. Na asay mga times na kinahanglan gud eksaminon ang pasyente og tarong kay nerve symptoms can actually be not just due to reduced blood flow but because there are nerve impingements in the back or in the lower extremity or in the upper extremity. So nerve problems are not only from reduced blood flow or diabetes, it can be due to different causes. I'm just showing you here that in diabetes, it's because of reduced blood flow and it damages the nerve slowly. And nganong wa man niadto sa doktor, so a lot of our fellow Filipinos self-medicate. Kanahan sila na musuway sa tambal, labi na kanang naay mga silingan na naayo kay naay giinom na tambal, naay gibutang na haplas. So kasabot gid ko ana kay naagi mga tao na ganahan mo sulay kay nakadungog lagi sila. Kay mo ni nahitabo sa akong silingan, mo ni akong nahitabo sa akong migo. My friend got better because they took this medicine, they took this supplement, and we always hear sa radyo na naay mga supplements na magic maka-cure og cancer, makaayo sa imong mga sakit sa kalawasan. So sulayon sana sa mga pasyente usa mo adto sa doktor. And of course, naasay mga faith healers, naay mga hilot na tuon nato, ganahan kita mo sulay sa tanan. Labi na karong panahon na, especially now in time of the COVID, that we are afraid to go to the doctors, we are afraid to go to the hospital. So we go a lot of the people go to faith healers, hilot, magsulay-sulay o bisag unsa. And naa ni consequences sometimes. Kung what ni ato sa doctor, if people don't go to the doctor right away, kay abi nila maayo ra dayon sa tambal, sa haplas, sa hilot, or sa unsa pa na ang gisulay, it can work at times, but sa experience namo, if the diabetes is not controlled, if the cause of the injury is actually vascular or naa sa ugat na naay bara, bisag unsa pa na ang inyong ihaplas, bisag unsa pa na ang buhaton sa manghihilot, if naay blockage or bara sa ugat, pag hinay-hinay gid na og kadako ang samad kay dili na mo heal. So what you see here unsay makita ninyo diri is usa ka tiil na daghan-daghan na gid og ulcer sa toe, sa ilawom sa tiil, sa ankle area kay abi nila na maayo ra ilang tiil. So this is often what happens sa among mga diabetic patients who self-medicate, who don't go to their doctors, na ay doctor sa una pero kalimot na sila sa pangalan sa doktor, and imbis na tambal rata ang kinahanglan, moabot gyud a lot of the times sa orthopedic na kinahanglan tan-awon ang tiil, limpyuhan ang tiil, and hadlok sa uban pasyente kay inag-abot nila sa ilang doktor na puwerte ng dugay na kay sila wakato silang doktor, hadlok sila syagitan, mamalikas ang doktor. So it's true, I'm ashamed to say that some doctors are really very harsh with their patients, and I'm sorry if you have been made to feel that uneasy or that awkward na doctors actually get angry at you. We really, at most of the times, don't want to get angry because we want just to punish you. We actually do care for you, and we want to get you to have a better life. Ganahan mi maayo ang imong mga samad. It's just certain times gyud na naag sa gyud gahi ug ulo ng pasyente, naa sa gyud doktor na dili kaayo na maayo mo storya, mag-abot ang duha and you will have horror stories na di na ko mobalik sa akong doktor, oy, I don't want to go to my doctor because mo ni siya syagitan ra ko, gipasakitan ra ko sa akong doktor. And sorry kayo if this has happened to you. We truly care for our patients, especially here at Cebu Orthopaedic Institute. We want you to get better, and there are just times that I'm sorry to say there are some times and some doctors who are not very tactful in these cases. So it's true. One of the reasons nga nung dili mo adto sa doktor ang mga pasyente kay syagitan sila sa doktor and mamalikas ang doktor o maybe takles ang doktor, no? Walay delikadesa. So sorry for this. And this is sometimes what happens. Kinahanglan ba putlon ang mga tudlo, ang tiil? It actually depends, no? It actually depends. Number one, unsa nakadugay. There are cases that are treated with medicines and antibiotics and masave gud ang tiil. There are humbling experiences na mga doktor mo ingon putlo na pero tungod kay wa giputol, gitagan og mga tambal na ayo. There are cases like that. So there are humbling cases na ang doktor sayop dili may Ginoo. We don't claim to know everything, but what we do know is we do a good physical examination sa pasyente. And ang examination, una, makita na mo kung mudugo pa ba. That's a sign na healing can still happen kay naa pay bleeding sa area. Although this is not always the case. Na ay times na mudugo ginagmay, then mubara na sad. And like I mentioned earlier, vascular disease comes with diabetics, and this causes mga bara, mga blockages in the arteries which can delay healing. So how do we examine the foot? We take, of course, pulses. Napa ba'y pulso? Kusog pa ba ang pulso kumpara sa pikas tiil or sa pikas kamot? So we compare a ankle brachial index, meaning i-compare na mo ang upper extremity o lower extremity na pulses and pressures. We also do tests for this, meaning na ay mga tests such as the Doppler, kanang duplex scan, testingon ang arteries and mga veins to check kung okay pa ba sila. Kay kanigod sa Binisaya, daghan og ugat, daghang klaseng ugat sa tiil. The arteries, na veins, na nerves. We try to test all of that. The nerves is ugat para sa sensation. Maka-feel pa ba, na pa ba'y mabati ang tiil or kamot. That's number one. Kay kung wa lagi mabati, magsigil lang og kasamad, and kung magsigil kasamad, kung man wa pag yo'y control sa sugar, you will always have recurrent infections And sometimes it spreads magod. It spreads to the upper part of the extremity, and it can even cause sepsis. Kanang sepsis is a severe blood infection in the whole body, and it's a systemic infection. It's sometimes very slow but deadly. Walay symptoms kaayo in some patients because they are immunocompromised. Dili na maka-mount og resistance or makalaban sa infection ang lawas na wala na signs such as fever, and sometimes kalit kaayo because diabetics have heart problems that can lead to heart disease. So there are many possible complications if you have kaning mga diabetic foot or vascular disease na combined. You have to know that ang mga ugat na affected sa diabetics, it's not just the foot, it's not just the hand. Usahay moabot ni sa mata, which is why you have the diabetic retinopathy. Usahay moabot ni sa kidneys, which is why na ay damage sa kidneys, and then you also have heart problems in diabetics. So going back, we have to examine the foot. Una by pulso, that's the arteries, and then we have to check if there is sensation. So those are very important to decide kung kinahanglan na ba putlon or pwede pa ba mabuhi. That's how we decide. And like this picture is showing, we get the pulses of the foot, comparing it to the opposite side. So ang both right and left need to be examined, and we compare the foot and the hand. Kanang pulso sa upper extremity, sa mga braso nato, ug sa lower extremity sa tiil. And it helps us decide mangod kung wa nagyoy pulso. That may be an indicator na dugay na gyud ni. It may be an indicator na kinahanglan putlon, but not all the time. Like I said, there are still cases na madala pa. So we check the pulses of the foot, we check the pulses of the hand. We also check the sensation kung naa pa ba'y mabati, kay kung way mabati magsige lang lagi og ka samad. And this is how we test. We test for sensation na naa pa ba'y ma-feel sa both lower and upper parts of foot, the dorsum of the foot and the plantar aspect of the foot, kanang sa lapalapa. Banhod ba naghikap, nagsige na ba og kasamad, naiuban na dunok na og lansang, wa gyud mabati, thumbtacks na gamay kaayo sa una, human nagsige lang og dugo, nagsige lang ka infection na nikatay na, and the whole foot became black. It can happen. And daghan ba og pasyente na naay huna-huna na because malihok pa ang tiil, bisag itom na tanan, tungod na malihok pa nila ilang tiil, malihok pa nila ang ilang mga tudlo, okay ra kaayo ko dok, buhi pa akong tiil, bisag wa nay pulso, wa nay mabati, itom na, baho na kaayo, naagyoy mo insist na buhi pa ang tiil, kay malihok pa nako dok lagi. Ang kaning picture na akong ipakita ninyo, it's just showing na your muscles of the foot, the tendons, ang mga ugat na mo konekta sa muscle sa tiil, taas kay ni sila man moabot ni sa leg, sa upper part. So bisan patay na ang tiil, nadunot na, baho na kaayo, di na wa nay pulso, pero tungod kay malihok pa nila, it doesn't necessarily mean na okay ang tiil or buhi pa. The fact na naanay nangitom na ang imong ang imong panit, skin is dark, it's cold and clammy to touch, meaning inighikap nimo, bugnaw na gyud, dili na init, di na mo dugo, bisag masamad, pero malihok nila, they think it's alive, not all of the time. And these are the cases na kusog kaayo mo spread ang infection, and it can be a emergency if it leads to sepsis or a systemic infection sa lawas na mo affect na sa tanan organs. Naimangutana lagi na di ba ni madaog tambal? It really depends on a case-to-case basis. There are truly instances na akong gi-mention earlier na abi na mo na kinahanglan na putlon pero ang pasyente wanted antibiotics. We of course will advise you and guide you. Dili mi Ginoo, we cannot do everything for you and we cannot decide for you, but we can advise you na based on what we see, kaning mga naapay pulso, naapay mabati sa tiil, and mudugo pa, these are signs of course na dapat nagtambal. And there are also needed times na i-admit ang pasyente tungod kay grabe ng infection. Madalag tambal pero mas maayo man na ang dextrose kay mas paspas na ano man na sa dugo compared to oral medications. And then there are really cases na kinahanglan i-admit ang patient kay septic na lagi or kanang systemic ng infection grabe na, and usahay muubos ng BP. Those are life-threatening situations. Kani ang akong gipakita diri usa ka tubo na grabe na kabarado. So naa magyud mga bara na grabe na gid kaayo, human mo nang rason nganong di na kaabot ang tambal sa tiil or sa kamot. And there are sometimes also na depende sad na gyud sa inyong doktor, dili parihatan ng doktor. So nganong moabot sa putol, this is an example na grabe na ang infection, ni katay na, ni saka na from foot all the way to the leg. Gikaon na ang panit. Really not a very nice sight to see, but sometimes patients do really wait hangtod grabe na kaayo before mato sa clinic. So I hope na di ni mahitabo to any of you out there. If you are diabetic, please treat your diabetes. See your endocrinologist, your internist. Make sure that it is controlled. We do tests such as fasting, blood sugar, and HbA1c. Kadaghanan sa mga pasyente, they think that kanang random blood sugar, kanara kaning mo take og sugar sa finger prick is all that is needed. That can be good for day-to-day monitoring, but if you want to really check the control, the glucose control for the past 3 months, kanang long-term control, you really do need to get a blood test called HbA1c. And you can also ask this from your doctor. They can do that for you, and it will tell you kumusta imong control for the glucose nimo for the past 3 months. And I hope this is helpful. Kay if indeed grabe na ang dunot na bahok na lata na ang tiil, then amputation gid ang sunod. We need to amputate para dili mo spread ang infection so that it will not be a systemic infection. And sometimes it will depend on the arteriogram or the duplex scan. The picture that you see on the right will show you, sometimes this helps us to plan our surgery asa putlon kung asa ang bara. Although at times naamon yung mga circulatory na branches that are reperfused through collateral. So unsay pasabot ana na ay mga bag-o na ugat na mupurma tungod sa bara, and that can be misleading at times. So pwede putlon ubos-ubos. Sa uban doctor, ang uban will go a little higher. Again, this will depend on your doctor kung unsay ilang best opinion. And most of the time, ang good, you don't have the option of getting so many second opinions from different doctors kay grabe na lagi, and sometimes septic na or naana sa tibok lawas ang infection, ikatag na, and then lisod na ang condition sa patient. So usually this can be a life-saving procedure kanang putlo na gid ang tiil kay grabe ng infection. It comes to that. And it can be simple amputation of a toe or usa ra ka tudlo ang tangtangon, or it could be the whole leg. It could be a below knee amputation, above knee, even a hip disarticulation can happen. I hope this never happens to you. Kay pwede ba na ang mga batanon maingon ani? Yes, I have had patients na 20, 30 years old because of uncontrolled diabetes, gestational diabetes, kanang diabetes na mahitabo tungod na buntis sila, na grabe ang mga infection, na patay na ang tudlo pag-abot. Sometimes di gid na sila mosugot na putlon-putlon. We can dress it, clean it, even wrap them up in special dressings na naay mga musuyop sa nana. Pero we always need to inform you na, again, dili mi Ginoo, we try to help and save you, and we'll try to heal you. But if late na kaayo, if barado na gid ang ugat, there's only so much that we doctors can do. It can be in the foot, it can be in the hand, na infection, and it's not the end of the world kung maputol na. I'm showing you this kay You can be a climber, you can still walk. We want to give you that quality of life na after na even na putol na ang tiil, pwede paghihapon mabuhi. As long as you control your diabetes, live a healthy lifestyle na makuan pa mo, sunod mo sa mga doctor's advice, control your sugar, exercise, and weight management, you can still do the things that you do. It will be hard work, of course, kay mausab magid ang inyong dinaktan ana, but it's possible to live a life even if you are an amputee. Makadula pa og soccer or other things. There are Paralympics na special Olympics for people with disabilities. And we have our friendly doctors from rehab medicine who will help you get you back to your active lifestyle. So, ang uban na moingon di na kuoy kapoy na I'm here to tell you na it's not the end of the world. I know na lisod kaayo, especially kung batan-on human daghan na kayong mahitabo. I've had the patients na bata lagi human very, very emotional because naapos sila mga anak na gamay pa, human naputla na. It doesn't need to get to that, but even if it does happen, there's always hope, there's always something to be grateful for. Magpasalamat gid ta kay buhi pa ta, and you can still guide your children, your loved ones, and you are always very important. So remember, pag-amping sa inyong lawas, I hope this has been of service to you, is a short presentation from the Cebu Orthopaedic Institute. This is Dr. Jonathan Flor-de-Lis. I will see you next week. I hope you have enjoyed this. Feel free to ask questions on the chat below or see us either online or face-to-face at the Cebu Orthopaedic Institute. You can contact us 239-2211 or see us at seriousmd.com and choose among our different specialists. We have specialists in hand, and these are Dr. Barlaan and Dr. Handog. We have specialists in the foot. Again, Dr. Barlaan and Dr. Miguelgo. We have musculoskeletal oncologists. And shh, ay saba. This is Dr. Akol and Dr. Miguelgo again. We have specialists in hip and knee, Dr. Princeton Lim, Dr. Tony San Juan, Dr. Robinson Uy, and myself, Dr. Jonathan Flor-de-Lis. And we have spine specialists like Dr. Jose Flor-de-Lis, Dr. Richard Condor, and Dr. Leo Yao, who is our children's orthopedic specialist. Okay. Sorry for this, and I hope this has been valuable. Visit our website at Cebu Orthopaedic Institute and our cebuortho.com.